How dramatic's that? That's version 4 of yesterday PM model show intro. So we thought we'd do that one. I was fiddling around with it this morning at stupid o'clock this morning, having a fiddle, and it's like, yeah, that works quite well. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to the Flory models, stroke PM models, everything else show. We're with you now for the next sort of hour and a half or whatever we're on for, and to entertain and everything new. Are we doing okay tonight, boys?
Yes, super. Thank you. Yep. Are you?
Good. Joined tonight by Mr. Buller. You all right, John?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Have you recovered after your weekend with Mr. B?
Yeah.
You have to point out you were in separate tents.
We were.
Definitely was.
Our glamping weekend.
Yeah. Nice, wasn't it, John?
Was it those proper tents with like a proper bed in it?
Yes, it's a belt tent.
Yeah.
Like a yurt.
Yeah, when you say proper bed, it was a mattress on some wooden pallets.
Oh, it's on pallets.
It's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very good. Did you have to put like animal dung in a small fire?
No, just small children.
Just burn some small children and stuff like that. Very nice. Well, look, as long as you had a nice time. At least the weather played ball for you, didn't it? It's quite nice.
It was on Sunday. It was red hot. I've got blooming burnt forehead. But yeah, it was, because we went to Hereford, didn't we?
Yeah, you did get a bit crimson, didn't you?
I did get a bit crispy, I have to say.
Nice, like when you took your glasses off.
Oh God,
you have the big bands down the sides.
Oh,
big white. Or do you look like Donald Trump?
A proper panda. Yeah, seriously, yeah. Faded a bit now, but yeah, it was when I took my sunnies off.
Very good. And we got a little picture that you guys sent me, which is, here we go. It's amazing. A couple of guys go out and they find a tank in the middle of the road. Brilliant.
Yeah, on the way from between Worcester and Hereford, there's an army surplus shop.
Yeah.
And that was just like parked in their car park, wasn't it? So
yeah, just right by the road, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I went to Hereford and potted around and said on the way back, we'll call in. So, hey, cool, you can climb on that and everything. It's got like that little sign that's hanging off the track. Says you can climb on it at your own risk. If you fall off it, don't come like trying to us sort of thing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, don't come suing us.
But don't mess with the guy sitting in the turret, apparently.
Oh, right.
Well, everything else, yeah, you could have gone on it and climbed on it and all sorts.
I'll tell you what, you don't find many T-34s just lying around the roads of Britain, though. Other tanks, yeah, you get a few Shermans lying around here, and we get some, say 432s and that type of thing, and Abbott tanks and stuff, but not a T-34. So I must admit, when you sent that, it's like, where are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know where they got it.
That one.
It should be for sale. We should buy it.
Yeah, we need one of them at the front of the PM store.
Hey, that would sort the parking problem out, wouldn't it? Round fire that thing up, right, shift it, or we're going to flatten you.
Right, okay, a couple of questions, guys, talking about where do you post questions these days? You don't now, that's it, we're having a cull. So you guys can't post questions anywhere. If I bring up the forum, I'll show you where they should go. Where are we? Okay, just before we get going, because obviously we have a bit of a new system now. And I know this layout looks different to yours because this is on the mobile format of this one. But basically, down in here now, we have a one down here called Question Area for Phil or Team. Okay? And then this is where you post your questions. So if you post your questions in here like this, and there they all are, that some guys have put in there already. The whole point is we will go and pick them up throughout the week. So basically you can post your question in there. So if you think of a question on like Monday, then I'll try and answer it on obviously the Tuesday Q&A show. If I don't know the answer, and some of them, to be honest, I don't, then I can obviously put it over to the guys and then they can come on the Thursday night show and try and answer it better, or they can get more information on it and stuff like that. Or if it's something a little bit more detailed, we can do little mini videos on it or quick tutorials and stuff like that. So they're in there. So the whole point is they stay in there. Like I've said in the little wordy bit on there, nobody's allowed to answer it until we've answered it, because this is what happened last time, because it just goes off onto a rant in there and no one knows quite who's answering or what the question was, because it's just full of posts. But like I've said is when it then airs on, say, the Tuesday show or the Thursday show or any other show we're doing is live, then answer it in there, please. Don't answer it in there, because that last time it just got spammed to death where everybody was talking over each other in there in the questions, and when it came to the show I couldn't even find where the questions were amongst it, because you've got people talking, and when I'm doing it like this live, you know, when you're trying to find questions and do them like that, it's just a little bit difficult. So we're just trying to keep it all a little bit more streamlined now as it goes through. But if you post it up down in there, and then obviously we can get to you and we can answer them. If you put it on today's one, like you usually do, there's a few questions in there. We know that's not a problem. We'll pick them up during the show and we'll answer those as we make our way through on there. So yes, all good stuff. So what's new and exciting? How's things, John?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thank you. Not done a massive amount in the shed, but hang on, let me try my new toy.
Oh God, here we go. He's tried this earlier and we lost him.
Cut himself off.
He cut himself off. I'm just going to switch. Clunk. Oh look.
There
Does that work? That'll work.
Yeah, look, you're in. Perfect.
So the little hindquarters coming on. All the markings have been sprayed on.
Very nice.
And it's all ready just for final assembly and then some weathering.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, well, it's Tamiya, isn't it? It's a cracking little kit.
As I say, have you enjoyed it?
Yeah. I haven't built a Tamiya kit for ages, and it's quite a joy actually because it just falls together.
So that's knocking on a bit now as well, isn't it? That kit, it's a good.
It is a good.
Yeah,
kit, though,
you need to come with like 2 complete engines in it, so you can show one. Hang on, you got the little engine stand there.
Yeah.
You can put the other engine on, which is what I'm going to do, and then just display it on a base. But yeah, cracking little kit.
Looking smart, that looks, because that's for the Bulges to Berlin.
Bulges to Berlin, yeah. And then as soon as I can get that done, I can get cracking with the Phantom to go with the VC10.
There you go.
Which is there.
Which side would you like to be on? Would you like the port hose or the starboard hose? So yes, very nice, very very good on that one. And Matt, what have you been up to?
I've had visitors this afternoon. My mother and sister's been up this afternoon, so that was sort of. I've had what we done this morning, mainly like deliveries and stock and all that stuff at work. But build wise, again, I've been like John. It's not really, but I've been playing with an off track.
Oh.
So that's painted in AK real colours actually.
Very nice.
Which was all right. So wheels are there, look. And the tracks are built, and it's, I tell you whose kit it is actually, somebody who I won't really be tackling, but an Italy one. And it's all right. I thought, to be honest with you, I didn't actually think it, because Esky did one way back when, and I thought, oh, is it a Reeboks? But actually, it's their own.
Right.
It's an older kit, but it's okay. It goes together. It's, you know, it can't be that bad because Tamiya's Reeboksed it at some point as one of theirs. So,
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's all right.
Ooh. What did you thin it with?
Just leveling thinner.
Right.
Yeah, no problem at all, to be honest. And I actually used me airbrush, me Badger Renegade Chrome.
Oh,
I thought
very nice.
that I'd run out because I've had it and not really tried it. I thought, oh, see how that sort of handles this camo, and it was fine, mate. To be honest, it was good.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing with.
Very nice. Me, I've been obviously playing with this quite a lot. I was trying to get it done before I go away. But clearly that isn't going to happen because I haven't got as far as weathering it yet. But anyway, decals went on today. Obviously, cheat line, I had to redo it because I made a bit of a hash on one side. So I had to redo this side completely and round with it. The problem that I've got is that the decals, it's a little bit of a mishmash because I'm actually using Mac 2 decals. Trust me, their decals are better than the kit. And they are rubbish. So that's about so much about it, really. But yeah, so I've used some bits of it on Mac 2 purely because the problem that we've got is that these ones here from the nice people at 20-second decals, the cheat line and all the wording in that is black. And obviously it's not black. They've literally done it black. So what I've done is I've nicked the doors and the detail bits from it, but obviously cheat lines and everything else like that I've done myself on it. So that's the point to it. It's just doing both of them. The roundels, obviously, technically, they're the wrong colour. But, yeah, again, if you've got really, really bad or pretty awful, and they're your two options to go through with it. So I've gone with the bad ones. So we're doing that. But what I'm hoping is when we come into actually doing the weathering with oils, I'll lighten them all up. Same goes with obviously around the door ones and all the rest of it. At the moment, they're far too stark, but we'll come in there with some greys and we'll knock it back. So where we do a little bit of post shading as well, then obviously we come in with oils, oil washes, filters, stuff like that right the way over it. But it has been, as we were saying, it has been, if you can see it down in there, we've been in and we pre-shaded and we've post-shaded down into it, and then up under here you can see a little bits of it going on and stuff. So again, it's got a lot more weathering to go on, but that's the thing, it needs a bit of time to dry, because as we were saying, as always, and this is definitely true to form with it, if you hold onto the wing being guns, you will leave a fingerprint in it, because I've done it over there when I was doing a load of decaling work. It's that thing, and you move your hand and you're like, I can feel that. Luckily I've managed to polish it up. But the paint is still soft, and that's been on there now 72 hours. Like we often talk about gun stuff, especially it's a bit thicker, and that did have a few coats and lots of self-leveling thinners into it as well. So it's that thing, give it plenty of time. So I'm probably going to finish off weathering it when I come back. So I'm still going to do the engine bits at the back. We've got to do the metal work, chromey bits, all the other bits and pieces, detail painting on this one. And then we'll probably put a flat coat right the way over it, and then we'll leave it to go off completely for about a week. And then when we come back, we'll get obviously our oils and various washes and stuff like that right the way over it to get it going. And then we can work on Andy's shuttlecocks, which are these little things, which I was showing somebody these yesterday, and they were like, oh, shuttlecocks. And it's like, no, it's a refueling basket, but actually it does look like a shuttlecock. So, but anyway, we've got those things. So they're going to be going on. We'll have a bit of hose coming off the back, going to use little magnets to be able to then plug into the aircraft. And as I said before, the guys are all doing a fleet of 72nd aircraft to plug into the back of it. So lots of in-flight aircraft coming through. So yeah, good going with that one.
What are you going to use for the hose?
Right, well, that's the thing. I've got two options on that one. I've got some vinyl, basically hose, which I've got a feeling came from a kit, a Tamiya kit of something or other. I don't know if it was a bike or something. But anyway, for some reason I've got loads of it, and I've got two lengths about that long. So I thought about using vinyl, but the trouble is with it, it's naturally got that curve. So short of putting it in boiling water, hanging it out and doing it like that, or we just go with waxed thread. So we use thread for it and then wax it completely, so it's all just like a hose, and then we can band it. And what I'll do is I'll do my usual trick for banding it. I've got this stuff and smaller, which is that heat vinyl stuff, so you can actually heat seal it. And I've got some white somewhere else, little ones, and they're tiny little ones, so you can put it onto the hose and then just hit it with a lighter or something hot, and it'll shrink onto it, and you can do the banding then down the hose all the way through. So that's the plan with that one. And again, just each end of it will be magnetic, purely so we're not hanging anything off the end of this. So when your models are on it, if somebody knocks it, it'll just come disconnected instead of it pulling this over. Because you can imagine you've got all these planes on poles, and I'm just thinking if somebody knocks one, it's going to grab it and it's going to take everyone's with it. So the idea is it'll all be detachable, so that it all come off and we should be absolutely fine. I'm probably going to scratch build, though, the little impeller things on there, because the kit ones are, it's not, I don't know, it looks like a brick. So we're probably going to make some out of photo etch. We've got a load of photo etch for doing it, so I'm thinking probably going to photo etch those ones and go through. Again, glass work at the front. Underneath there, it is clear polished glass, but I don't know yet how that's going to work. We might end up doing it black. We will see. So yes, that's where we are with that one.
Hey, just a bit of advice. You know, people who are using aqueous, and you know, you're getting obviously the skinning effect and it's softening. You know, if you actually thin it and spray it with rapid thinners, it don't do it.
No.
It really does send it rock hard, and you don't get that effect. Because I know Andy's done it on something or other. So because he's a real fan of the lacquer range, isn't he? And not the aqueous because of it, you know, skinning over and doing what you've just said. But he said he tried it with a rapid thinner, and he says it's brilliant. It acts more like the other version. So
yeah. Because funny enough, I've been holding the fuselage and it's not at all. That's completely cured. It's just the wings. And I know why, because I did the wings separate. So the wings were done afterwards, and they're about a day behind, and that's why it is. So it needs another day before it goes. So probably tomorrow afternoon I'll give it a flat coat. So that means it should have dried off absolutely everywhere. We shouldn't have any trouble with it cracking or doing anything else like that. But it is the drawback to using the aqueous stuff. Say, unless you're going to use rapid thinners. But again, the trouble you got with rapid thinners on something this size
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
nice to have the playtime of putting on wet coats and just let it self-level, sort itself out. And because it's not pretty, it's all right from this far away, but you don't want to be this close because it's a bit gnarly. So, yeah. But apart from that, it's all right. It's coming along very nicely. Who says it can't be built? It's there. It's fine. It's great.
Bit of elbow grease and you get there in the end, don't
Yeah,
you?
that's it. It's a good job I own a sander company. That's what I'll say.
It is, yeah.
Right. Okay. Anyway, to be honest, it's very quiet on the forum this week. So what we thought we'd do is have a look around at some of your great work that we have found this week and go through some of those. So to start off with, this is actually from the B team, as we'll call them. The B team were mentioning that about the format we would like to see the group builds in, and which one's that? It's that one. Arthur's put up a little thing here about it. We won't go right the way through his build, but really it just lays it out how we'd like to see it. So obviously the title is obviously, you know, what it actually is. So you've actually got the kit, the scale, the aircraft, and the film it's in. So it's in harm's way, okay? So then obviously you've got usual pictures of the kit right the way through as we normally do. So it just shows really you haven't started it and all the rest of it. A little bit of obviously the reference work that he's used for it as well. And obviously you've got reference pictures from the film, which is always very nice to see those. So it gives you a little bit of context of how it goes. So yeah, very nice pyros. Some poor model gave its life. Down into it like that. So that's a really nice way of starting off your build because it gives everybody a good idea exactly where you're going with the build, what your plan is, what your expectations and everything else like that. So, you know, obviously he's got a little bit of problems with the kit, with broken props, stuff like that, but it's just a nice way of laying it out. So, you know, especially if you're dealing with a film that perhaps we haven't got a clue, you know, and let's face it, I'm sure if you're like me, you don't know what every kit or, you know, film is to a kit and all the rest of it. And somebody might say something like an Impala, like on yesterday's show. So I actually went off and had a look afterwards and it wasn't the one I thought it was. So so that's why I put the photo up on yesterday's show. So again, but it gives everybody an idea of what it is. So well done to Arthur for that. But if we put a little bit of context into it, I think it just makes the group builds a little bit more enjoyable and everything on that sort of front for it as well. So that's the plan for that one. Okay. Onwards, though, as I say, I think we've all seen this one. This is an absolutely beautiful one. This is James's done the Gladiator, and we've now seen it in various different camo schemes and weathering effects and stuff like that. And again, lo and behold, he has done an absolute stalker down in here. Oh God, hold on. Look, you guys didn't tell me you can't see it. Right, start again. So James has done this fantastic one down in here. Some nice detail on the interior look. On with the rigging and putting in the pin, same as I did. Okay, and obviously as you can see them just down in here. It's got all the rigging points. So then you can go through using the old thread. Going in. And again, I love the markings on this. It's got really nice weathering as well. It's one of those ones that's weathered very, very subtly, and it's all the way through. You know, the entire aircraft is just on that plane with it, if you know what I mean. Okay, so it's got that nice thing. See? Another gorgeous Gladiator, very smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about the naval schemes as well, isn't there? You know, from that era.
Can't beat a bit of slate grey.
That's it.
I'll tell you what, funny that, because you can get slate grey now for like every manufacturer. No, not a few years ago when I built my Sunderland. In fact, I had to do it in Model Master because I couldn't find seriously any slate grey. I think probably extra acrylic or extra colour. Humbro one was, I think they do one, but again it was an enamel, if you know what I mean. Even though I did end up using enamel in the end, but you know, you'd think it'd be quite a common colour to get, and it just didn't seem to be at the time for some whatever reason.
I was going to say, going back a few years, Airfix certainly did an enamel, didn't they? Slate grey.
Yeah, I've probably got it in there somewhere. On my ancient paints. It's a funny colour, isn't it? It's a very, you know.
But it is a nice scheme, that one, though. I must admit, I do like it in that scheme. It's a very, very nicely done one.
Yeah, it is.
Very cool. Very nice. And obviously, being the Sea Gladiator, you can just about make out the hook underneath.
But that was ear-raising, taking off and landing on a carrier in one of them.
Get a gust of wind.
I was going to say, yeah, just a little bit. A bit, yeah. Not my idea of a fun day out.
Speaking of which, I just, breaking interlude. I watched Midway. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciate it's historical, but honestly, it's, is Jamie in chat tonight? But I'm sure Jamie, as a naval aviator, if he hasn't seen the film, I'm pretty sure when you dive bombing a carrier, you don't go in like fingertip formation, together, 20 planes all going down like one ball onto it, because surely it only takes one shot in the rough vicinity to lock you all out. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to stagger it a little bit, but it was one of those films where it's pure CGI all the way through, and it just doesn't look right. It doesn't flow. You need to have some real aircraft and that sort of feeling to it. Don't get me wrong, the plot is all right, because it is historical, but yeah, some of the acting's a little bit and just the special effects and yes, and it's a bit like strafing runs in aircraft. Why is it they all do it from 10 feet off the ground, flying around? All aircraft, apparently they only fly at 25 feet maximum altitude in combat, because strafing people on the same plane as them must be so much easier than coming down at them. But so that's the other thing as well. So yes, anyway. Oh, you've seen the trailer? Yeah.
You don't recommend it then?
Honestly, and also it's like 3 hours long. It's on Amazon Prime. If you got that, you can watch it for now.
Yeah, I've got it.
It's on there, and yeah, it was one of those. Anyway, I sort of gave up and watched Rambo instead. That was all right. Anyway, sorry.
Which one?
The latest one.
Oh God.
Last Blood.
Do you know, I watched both of them on one of the flights we did when we did New Zealand.
Yeah. What do you think to Rambo? Mind you, it's always difficult because I've done loads of long haul. When you're watching it on this size, it's very difficult to sort of get immersed into it, but when you're on the bigger screen, it's a bit better. But, it's typical Rambo, isn't it? It's completely over the top.
It does what it says on the tin, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
you don't expect anything else from a Rambo film.
Yeah, he comes up covered in blood and everyone's dead. It's like, it's Rambo, isn't it? It's fine. Anyway, anywho, well done, James. Absolutely fantastic on that one. Crikey, have we got any more to look at? Is that it? Is that the only one we had?
I did put another one up late.
Oh, right. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just try and drag it up. Which one was it? Oh, right. The F-86.
Yeah.
Mustafa's one. Yes.
And like I say, when I put it up on the big screen and not just my phone, you just see how well the finish is on it, actually.
Yeah.
Considering
it's with the golden hooks. Gold. Yeah.
That's not the easiest colour to...
Definitely not.
No. Got to agree. What's he painted it in? Does it say? Mr. Colour Super Metallic.
Yeah, Mr. Colour Super Metallics.
That's the new one then, isn't it? The new gold.
Yeah. That looks quite nice, doesn't it?
That looks smart.
It is really smart when you look at it, on a full screen. Really tidy job. You can't see any blemishes on it.
That's about to say, because you've got to that's got to be blemish free, really well prepped to pull that off.
Your paint work's got to be perfect. Your primer work before you go in with that.
It looks really nice, doesn't it?
What's his stand? Looks like a homemade stand because it's got a screw in it. That's a good idea. You could just have one like that, and then with a screw thread, just screw your plane into it.
Yeah, I think that. It's like one stand fits all sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. Ideal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quite nice, that. But no, that is a very nice, smart job. Again, it's one of those nice ones that it's simple, but incredibly well executed. As I say, it's not easy when you're working on sort of, metallics and metallizer finishes and stuff like that, because as we all know, they just show every single blemish or any, sort of imperfections you've got, dust, cat hair, squirrel, I don't know, whatever.
I was going to say, though, the thing is with that, because it's like an aerobatic one, they're super clean anyway. You can't even weather it, can you?
Yeah.
There's no hiding.
There's no hiding, is there? No, none at all. It's got to be perfect. So, or near enough perfect. So, yeah, it's really nice. I like that colour, actually. It's quite a nice colour, isn't it?
It is. Very, very nice colour on that one. What we'll do is, because we're a bit lacking, should we just have a quick dive through some of the completed things, perhaps from the Battle of the Bulge?
Yeah. Why not?
Because we are a bit light tonight. So,
Ooh,
John?
A greyhound.
Greyhound, see, can't go wrong with a greyhound.
You definitely can't go on with a greyhound.
48
And
scope
a
Tamiya.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So am I in the work in progress? I thought I'd gone to reveals. Apologies.
Yeah, I think work in progress.
Oh, right, okay. Well, look, we'll just have a quick flow through here. Very nicely done.
Seamless, that.
No one will know. It's all right, we'll edit all this out. It'll be like us on a Wednesday show.
So polished. That show, it's super polished.
So, yes, very, very nicely done. And that's coming along very, very nicely. Right, let me try that again, and then we'll just edit this together. It'll be fine.
I say when we do our show in a couple of weeks, I think we should put the shirt and tie on.
Yes.
Look, really business-like.
Proper business. I'll wear my suit.
Yeah.
I'll get it out of mothballs.
Yeah.
Okay, Gordon's done the comet.
And it's the Hella one, if I remember reading.
Oh, yeah, the Hella Humbrol 72nd one. Oh, my Lord.
That's a blast from the past.
Very much so. Look at that.
Your favourite manufacturer now?
It is, yes. Hella, they're the future. Forget your Tamiyas and your Bandai. Hella all the way.
Yeah. I think it comes. Does it come with that trailer? I'm sure it does, I think.
Yeah,
Kind of remember that kit from back in the day.
That would be tiny as well, wouldn't it, in 72nd?
Second, yeah, it'd be a proper tiddler.
Yeah, it's minute in 72nd.
Very nice.
Cracking, because that's an old kit.
Yeah, really, that's a really good job on an old kit, that is. Just goes to show. Well done, Gordon. Like that a lot.
Yep.
And easy 8. Can't go wrong with an easy 8. Oh, hold on. Come on. Back.
On page. Oh, look.
Oh, look. This is Ed's one. We saw this one the other day. Never mind, we're back again.
See, everybody's getting now to doing dioramas and bases.
Yeah, that's it.
They're all coming round. Hey, just on about that, by the way. I don't think you might have known this, but I just want to say congratulations to Kev. Because you know that diorama that he started and brought doing the demos from the shop?
Yes.
It's on the front cover of the new Dio mag.
It is.
And it's, well done to him because it deserves it because that looks stunning, his cursed diorama. So, yeah.
Very
just jogged my memory why you put that on, that was all. But yeah, well done, Kev.
Well done, Kev. Great job.
That's nice, that.
Quite nice again because it's got that sort of, the way that shot, just the photograph, it's giving it that distance.
Yes.
Yeah. And as I say, it's got a little bit of height difference in the actual Dio as well, which is quite nice. But it's nothing taken away from the tank. The tank's an actual sculpture as well.
Yeah, well done.
Well done. Very nicely done. Very nice. What's Andy yapping on about in there? We're spending more time chatting on Skype than watching chat. See? One job. They're the police. Get in there. Right, Furry. Oh, look, nice job with the figures. So Steve's done full crew.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's another nice one, isn't it?
It is. Nice mud effect.
Yes. Yeah, I noticed that. Good weathering on it.
Good weathering.
In scale as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's got mud where it probably would have had mud.
Yes.
So, but yeah, nice.
Very nice.
Nice to see the crew as well in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Realism, I suppose. That's why I like the figures with armour. So, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Even on the underside, look.
Oh, top job. Is that when it gets it with an 88 and flips over?
I was going to say, is that the escape hatch? Isn't that where he pops out the bottom?
Yeah, probably. Not that you want to, not that you'd want to be doing that, would you? Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. We ought to do just a special show with us commentating on films, because I could spend hours on Furry. Of how like the Waffen SS froze themselves. They might as well just run out and headbutt a tank, But yeah. Anyway, it wouldn't have lasted 30 seconds stood there with a couple of Panzerfaust. But hello.
I tell you what, it's the bit where they're driving over that field, shredding for that pack.
Yeah.
And they can't hit it. They couldn't hit a,
Yeah.
And they're like, hold on a minute, they're a fully trained crew that had took them Shermans out with
Absolutely. And not to mention the Tiger tank, because let's face it, we all know Tigers like to shoot everyone at point blank range. instead of shooting them from like half a mile away.
Yeah, we got to. I know. It's for dramatic effect. Let's leave it at that.
Don't get me going on that one. Right. Okay. Last one up. We got a nice 70-second 262 from Scott.
Another one. Cool. That's a nice kit. Actually, that's a new tool one, isn't it? So
yeah.
Sure, Nathan's got one of them in his stash.
I bet he has.
If not a couple. And if he hasn't, he needs some.
Lovely detail on it, but a very nice paint job as well with the masking and all the rest of it on that one. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it is. Very iconic aeroplane as well.
Again, that's one of those. You take that, it could be 48 scale, it could be 32nd. Very, you would think it's 72nd. That's a little baby one.
Yeah.
Beautiful work.
And better, like nicely new tooled Airfix kits as well, isn't it? Brilliant, that.
Very nice as well with this one, with the more motley effect.
Bring them all to the Luftwaffe SIG.
Yes, there they are, the pair together. Please. Very nicely done indeed.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, if you'd like us to see a We Ruin Films special, post up in the comment section and we'll do a Flory Models Ruins the Movie special.
Can we get away with that with copyright?
Oh, it wouldn't affect us. We'll just take the hit. It'd be worth it for comic value alone.
Probably, yeah.
Right, okay, so we've got a few questions, obviously in our new question area, so I'll just read them out from here. So anyway, Dan starts off by saying, hi guys, is it possible to make either the F8C or F-8H variants from the Hasegawa F8E? Many thanks.
I've got no idea, I'm so sorry, that's just not what I can answer because it's got...
We could seem very clever here, couldn't we? But Andy did Google it last night, didn't he?
Yes, it did.
And it would appear not.
No, we're thinking, as I say, because I have literally only just seen this question. The guy saw it before. They were pointing out that apparently the nose is different because one's got a pointy nose, the other one, the doesn't, got the more rounded nose. Also, there's different lumps and bumps on it. And I'm pretty sure Buster, whichever version he was, there was two versions of that kit as well. There's an H, and I think he's the J or whatever it was version of it. And they've got different lumps and bumps all over them. And the biggest difference is the tailplanes are different on it as well. So I don't think you can. But Andy did do a little bit of Googling with it, and he was saying you can't.
It's an E and a J in it on the Crusader.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I can't remember what Buster is. Anyone know what Buster was back in the day? I'm sure it's out in the notes, whatever he was. You'd never know now. He could be anything. Anyway, Ben says, hi, chaps. I want to buy one of the UMP scribing tool. Right, he gets banned. Look, delete that. Yeah. Right, delete.
UMM, Ben. UMM.
I can't believe he said that. So that's it. I've just deleted it. He's deleted his question. Sorry, I can't answer that. If you want a UMM one from John, that's in the States, go direct. John's very, very good. He's a great guy. Any problems, he will sort you out. I know John, known him many, many years. He's a good guy. He's one of the good eggs in the hobby. And don't forget, a bit like me, although I'm way no in his league because he's like a super modeler. Trust me, go and see his stuff because he's off the chart. He's a modeler first, businessman second, which shows. If you've got any problems, he'll sort you out.
Is that Sprue Brothers?
What, UMM? No.
Yeah, you can get by Sprue Brothers.
Oh, Sprue Brothers doing it as well now, are they? Oh, right, okay.
Why aren't we doing them then? If Sprue Brothers can get them, we need them to sell.
Basically, go and speak to John first. Trust me, go and see John. John's got a bit of an antiquated website, and the way he does things and gets things out can be a little bit, you have to wait. But again, he being as like I used to be a few years ago, he doesn't carry massive stock levels. So he sort of buys it in, then it tends to go out, and then there's a bit of a lull and it goes again. So, when I spoke to him last time, that's why he wasn't supplying stores and shops, because he says stock rotation's a nightmare as it is. So you're better off speaking to him directly, and then he'll sort you out. Patrick says, hi folks, with Matt's new camera setup at the unit, any chance of a short video on making a wet palette?
Yes, I did see that earlier actually, and I've asked Leslie to get me the stuff because I need the sponge so I can show it, because I've got no spare sponge anymore. So really I'll just be like rebuilding what I've already done. Yeah. So Leslie's going shopping tomorrow, and I've asked her to put it on the list for the sponge, and then I can do one. And if she does pick it up, I'll do one actually on Saturday. at work Saturday. I'll do it Saturday afternoon, and I'll sit there, and because it's only going to take sort of 10 minutes tops, isn't it, to knock it together, and it's a good practice for me, to be honest. So yes.
So you thought about trying that other one that we were discussing the other day?
No, but we could, because actually I could probably do it off obviously the sponge cleaners. But yes, it's got to be worth a look, hasn't it? So are we going to tell them, or
go on then? You can describe it.
Well, I was watching one of the Japanese YouTube channels, and what he did was kind of make a wet palette for Tamiya acrylics for the XF range. And what he did was, the normal way of I do it, put the water in, but instead of putting water in, I think he put, from what I've seen, it would have been the Accurus thinners. Or I presume you could use X20A, that type of thing. And I made it with that and was hand painting with it. Not tried it, so I don't know how effective it is, because I think the problem with Tamiya is you get it on your brush, and by the time you've sort of picked it up to go to what you're painting, it's dried.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. I don't know if because it was in Japanese, obviously, I could only see what they were doing, not sort of it being explained. So I don't know. I might give it a go and see what happens. I might think you might need a bit of retarder in it or something, just to keep it flowing.
In your spare time, you need to learn Japanese then, so that you can get these techniques up properly.
Well, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll put that to my list of jobs to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can you learn like Mandarin and all the rest of it whilst you're at it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'll be on that.
What with Romanian Rom?
Yeah. I bet he's fluent now.
Well, that's it. Right, okay. Another one for you. Matt, any news on the Hobby Boss 132nd A26 Invader, i.e. price, release date?
Unfortunately, no. I've got no clue to what's, because with Hobby Boss, it just tends to come in on and it's in the shops, if you know what I mean. So unfortunately, no. I presume it's been delayed because of obviously the COVID stuff and China being shut down. So I would have thought it'd be out by the back end of the year, but I've got no firm dates or prices at the minute.
Right. Okay. The other thing as well. Do you want to mention about the Phantom just whilst we're here?
Yes, I was about to say, right, the F40 Tsukimori Phantom that we've got on pre-order is going to end on Monday morning, because I need to get the order in with Gary at Tiger for inputting his order in for stock, which should be here, I'm thinking about September, I think. So if you want one, please whack your name down in before the end of the weekend, because after that, that'll be it.
Yeah.
The pre-order will be shut and moved. So
we can't mess around on this one, because it's not us. This is coming in via one of our importers. So he wants to put the order in, so we got to tell him how many. So yeah, we're a little bit on time with that one.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, David says, hello from West Oregon. A total newbie. There is still a few terms I hear where you guys would use. I'd like more information on. What is burring? And what causes it during the plastic injection process? Isn't burring just different types of seam line? Thanks, David. Burring is literally when the two molds come together and they sandwich together. It is the microscopic gap between it. Okay, and this is the thing, when you're to be honest, I've just threw away all my sprues. I've been having a tidy up, so I've got no sprue. But normally what happens is that, you know, it's if you're dealing with AAA companies, things like that, it's very, very thin, but you will always get it, because you will always get a sandwich effect. Okay, and it is literally that little tiny bit of seepage on both sides of it that comes out between it. You know, and that is literally how it is. Some ones you get what we call flash, and it's this big piece of like, it just it's out everywhere. Other times it's just you can feel it with your nail, but you can get it literally from, like with this kit, it was like everywhere. In fact, hold on, I might have. Oh. Now I've got one bit because I've still got the wheels. I don't know why I bother keeping the wheels. But yeah, so on something like this, hold on.
I don't know if you can see it on mine, but
yeah, it's all right. If I
grab great plastic, yeah, you might be better on yours, because this one's got it, but it's not the best colour.
Show it on some like American YouTube channels and that they refer to it as parting line.
Yeah, so you see this seam running literally just down in here. and it's obviously on both sides. This can actually come across and it causes like bubbles to come out of it stuff. This is technically known more as flash. Okay, and it is the bit that just gets squidged out between it. The bit though that's just literally on perhaps the part or it's on the sprue, but normally we're talking about when it's actually on the part of something, is what we just call burring. So it is just that very, very small part. So you can get deburring tools, which this technically is one, and then what happens is you just come along and you just scrape it away until it's gone. Okay, and it's just rounded off and flush again. Okay, so that's it. And this Schaefer's is just the burrings off of it. And it's just little bits. Again, it's one of those things. It's not a mass problem in 99% of kits, because a lot of people either see it as flash or you see it as just a tiny bit that just needs cleaning up. The problem you get though sometimes, if you were on, and I think one of the worst culprits I had for it was when I did the 24 scale FX Typhoon. The parts were every single thing you touched, because it had a lot of framework and tubular items for obviously the internals and stuff like that. It all had burring over every single part. So everything needed to be cleaned up. It's not quite flash, because flash is that bit where it goes a lot further. Okay, and it's just that bit on there. And again, it can make the difference between a very pleasant build to a nightmare. Because if you've got a little bit of burring, that can add, you know, I don't know, sort of, you know, a couple thousandths of a mil to everything you've done. And if you've got 20 bits in there, before you know it, you've got half a mil gap, and it's caused by the burring sticking out. So if you've got classic example, Wing That Wings ones, which they are very good at, but if you've got lots of formers going down in there, if the formers have all got a tiny little bit of burring on them and you don't clean them up, that makes a little bit of spread. So two halves, you come to put it together and you wonder why your model doesn't go together, you know. Yet technically it's just that little bit of cleanup that you need to do. So you watch it on things like formers, depending on how they're molded, obviously. But normally if they're flat and it's obviously two bits squished down, you've got the seam around it, you want to make sure they're all cleaned off. But yes, it's one of those. It's part of injection molding. You get it literally on everything. Things about a classic example, 2 years ago, I had, was it 4,000 50ml plastic bottles delivered here, and something had obviously clearly gone wrong and quality control was non-existent, because when they turned up, they all had, and you could feel it really, really strong on the side of the bottles, and it was the plastic bottles. And because they're injection molded, it's the same thing. They just come together and there's a thing out the bottom. But sometimes you get a little bit of a lip that's noticeable on the bottom of bottles, but this had it up the sides as well. So they soon had to go back. So again, it was one of those ones where they call it, oh, it's just a little bit of burring. A little bit of burring? Crikey, you can even put a label over it. So it was like, yes. So that's what you want to do.
You even get it on Tamiya kits. I've had it on this one, but it's just really fine. It's because it's
normally a quick whip around.
It's a better quality burring, if you like.
Yes, that's it. It's nicer burring. But you say, even with like we got, you know, these, I could define this technically not as a deburring tool. It's more of a sort of carving tool and a cleanup tool rather than that. But we talk about like seam scrapers, which whatever I've done with them, I've had a bit of a clear out today. They're probably back in there. But those seam scrapers have got, really that's designed for taking burring off, you know, because it's rounded as well. So with pipes and stuff like that, you can just whip along it and it takes care of it. But don't forget, a good old normal blade, just give it a whip up and down with it. That's normally enough. The trouble is with using a flat blade is you're going to cause a flat area. So if you've got something with a curve on it, it just keeps the curve. So scrape away, people. Keep scraping.
Yeah, get scraping.
Get scraping. Okay, David says, hi Phil and team, has anyone used the excellent Microscale Industries micro liquid tape? We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? And it's a strong form of glue used on post-its. There you are, liquid tape. Oh, perhaps that's something else I'm thinking of then. For example, perfect for canopies. You can remove the canopy and clean the inside if necessary. It has many other uses, so I've not tried. Please give it a go. There you go. We can get that as well, can't we?
Not what I know of.
Can't we?
Not that one. No.
Is it like in a bluish bottle?
What's the one we got?
We've got the masking one, the decal one, set and salt, and crystal clear. I've not heard of that one, if I'm honest. No less, it's a newish thing, and you know.
Is it the masking one that's bluish?
The masking
one. Yeah,
the
masking one's bluish.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. No. What's that called again?
What?
Hold on, I'll go to the store. Seamless. It's all right, we'll edit this as well. Talk amongst yourselves. Was it under tools? Was it under?
No, what you've just said.
Oh, right, sorry.
Liquid tape.
Liquid tape.
Liquid tape. All
Yeah.
right, I'll make a note of that and have a look. But hold on, let me pencil. Liquid tape.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not the stuff we got.
No, we definitely don't sell that.
No, we will look into it and we'll do a test with it.
If that's spelt right, but I'll know what it is when we're finished. I'll have a look and see if our said supplier stocks it. Again, it could be a labelling thing or an importing thing. You know what I mean? We've had this before, haven't we, with a certain product, but
yeah,
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Jerome says, having some problems with the new Tamiya lacquer paints. Need to thin it. What is the best thinner to use? Crikey, Jerome, if you're having trouble with this stuff, you can any type of lacquer paint, any of three. I've tried it with all three now. Literally, I do it with your normal, your slow, and your rapid, and they all work perfectly with it.
Or their own, or Tamiya's own thinner.
Or Tamiya's own.
So
I
you
have
got
them all
orange
here.
and
Look.
orange, and you ain't got a yellow top there, have you?
No, I haven't got the Buffy one. No.
No, and there's the Buffy one, which is just like equivalent of the blue one on the intake, just normal lacquer thinner. But any of them,
any of those, no problem at all. Yeah.
And 60-40 or 30, you know.
If you're new to it, honestly, just go down the 50-50 route just to start with, just to feel for it. But then you will find you can thin it. It's got great coverage. But if you just want to start off at the beginning, literally just go in 50-50 and play with it. But you will notice you can go 60-40, no problem at all. It's got, like we always say, Tamiya's got a fantastic margin. So where some paints are a bit finicky and you've got to get it right, with Tamiya, I say it's got like a 20 degrees. Yeah, a 20% range. You can be 10% over and under. It will still work. You don't have to worry about it. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah, definitely. It's good stuff. It's really nice paint.
Very good stuff. Okay, David says, back in the late 70s and early 80s, there was a large full-page advert in many non-modelling magazines of a very expensive Rolls-Royce model kit. It had amazing detail, including functional steering, operable doors, and windows. Many of the smaller parts are made of solid brass and other metallic parts. It was a stunning kit to behold. Do any of the Flory team or chat remember this advertisement? Was it?
I would have. Hey, Potcher.
Do you know what? I was going to say we discussed this yesterday. Yeah.
Because we were on about them, weren't we, yesterday? Yeah. That's a bit coincidental, isn't it? Yeah. John might remember it because in the early 70s, I'd have been about 5.
Yeah, John will remember it. He was like in his 30s then. Get Andy on as well. They can reminisce.
Yeah.
They both had them.
I don't remember it, but yeah, I would have said Potcher.
They
did all those.
Yeah, they did.
It's, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, dog's barking.
Somebody managed to get through the door without the dogs actually noticing.
It
shows how good they are as guard dogs, isn't it? Useless.
Very stealthy.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, if you do actually Google probably Potcher Rolls Royce, it'll probably come up.
Yes.
And then you can tell if it's the one you think it is. I can't think of anything else it could have been. Can you?
They're the only mainstream company that I know were doing stuff like that. And they've always done stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unless it was some specialist thing, but yeah.
D'Agostini were around then.
They were chucking them out then. Oh dear.
Buy a part a week for
how many magazines did you have to buy for how many years?
£1 a week, yeah. Gee.
Only to find out they go, well, they don't anymore, but the trouble in those days used to be you've got like 50 parts, so you've got 30 to go, the company would go bust, wouldn't it?
Yes, that was it. You could never finish it, could you?
Yeah, that's it. You could never finish it because the companies always went bust.
Just thinking, you know, we were on about Potcher kits and stuff yesterday and how they're not releasing stuff. Do you think now they're doing stuff for D'Agostini? Because it's the same scale.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
And then you buy your weekly magazine to build your kit. Do you know what I mean? It kind of would add up, wouldn't it?
Well, we know for a fact that there's certain manufacturers out there that have, like, the Italeri, when they brought out those cars, wasn't it? Which are the old Protar kits, aren't they?
Yes.
Because originally they were metal.
Yes.
And everything, and obviously they've just retooled it for plastic, and they've done it down those lines as well. So, because back in the day, those Protar kits, I say, I did a couple rebuilds really and repair jobs, commission ones, and they were metal. So it was really odd seeing them come back as plastic. It was like,
they're not still going though. I'm sure I've seen.
Yeah,
Potcher are. They've just done a break.
I can say, I've seen Lamborghinis and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I think. Oh God, I think he was distributing them at one point. Like Airfix. Hornby
were doing it, weren't they? Yes.
I'll get there in the end. Yeah, Hornby was distributing them at one point, because that's when it was the Lamborghinis and a couple of other things. I don't know who does it anymore. I don't know if there's an importer over here or a distributor or something, but yeah, because that Panigale looks a bit of kit, doesn't it?
It looked up. I must admit, when I did the editing for it, I got the photos and had a look, and it does it absolutely stunning, but it's a lot of chunk of change.
And it's pre-painted, so it's took the fun out building it.
It literally is put it together job like a D'Agostini kit, So yeah.
Oh well.
I still want to do my boxer engine. I was looking at that as well when I was getting the photos for that. I was like, oh look. Anyway. Right, moving on. David says, since it's a quiet night, it was till everyone started now, I remember my dad telling me about Shep Payne, a brilliant modeller maker in his day. So have you any modelling heroes that inspired you along the way? Well, mine's easy. I think everyone knows me and Ted Taylor. So have read all of Ted's books back in the day. And then one of those things where it's like never meet your heroes. No, I take that back. He's a lovely man. But he came and pat me on the shoulder at Telford one year, and he goes, "Love your work, Phil. Very good, but it's all wrong." And it's like, thanks, Ted. Just crushed me on the spot. Hey, but no, he gave me a complete telling off about airbrushing and some things I do with an airbrush, and about the needle should always be a one-way system. Push it out, and he taught me a couple of little tricks about setting your needle, of how it should be. Some of those now don't actually make, because that was for old form of airbrushing. More modern ones, you don't have to worry about them, you just push them in now. But back in the day, it was a few little tips and tricks for seating the needle correctly. And he told me all about those and everything. And bless him, when he died, it was one of those real mortifying things. I did a program all about him and everything years ago now. But yeah, it was quite a sad day when Ted left. He was quite a character, shall we say. He will tell you exactly how it is, and that's why I like Ted. He wouldn't sugarcoat anything. That was great.
That's what you want, isn't it? Tell you how it is. That's good, isn't it? But I mean, Shep Payne, he was the pioneer of dioramas and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. He was the man, and then it went to Bob Letterman and all that. I think I've said this before. My probably first sort of influence in the dioramas and all the things was Verlinden stuff, the magazines and the books, and then probably 2000s or whatever. I'd say it would be Mig Jimenez, because to me it was just revolutionary what he was doing. Even though it probably weren't, but to me coming back, I think because it's when I had a break and life and the pubs and other things got in the way.
Wine got in the way.
Yeah, basically. And then coming back into it, I was back in the auto rock really onto aircraft. And again, I think it must have been like picking up, it might have been a Tamiya mag or something, but I always think Marcus Nichols and Spencer's always been really, really good, really good modelers. But yeah, probably, like I say, probably Verlinden was one because of the dioramas, and that was just like, wow, this is just great. And then probably Mig, to be honest, just because of, what he bought to the table was something probably new, using the pigments and all that sort of stuff, and the way he did it. I think the Spanish way, I suppose, and that was
the European way, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's that way they do it.
And then ever since there's been loads, because there's that many now really good modelers. You just cherry pick bits and bobs from everybody, isn't there? I mean, like just Kev, who comes on, obviously picking stuff up from him, from the dioramas and way using and stuff like that is, it's good. And then joining your site, Phil.
Yes, that's it.
Can't let you sit there hanging. Obviously, you've been an influence as well.
Am I an influencer?
Yeah,
you are. Yeah,
I was going to say Philip.
Oh, thanks everyone.
Influencer.
I was waiting.
But Well,
again,
yeah,
I think a lot of it is as well is that, you know, like the trouble that's occurred. In some ways, it's fantastic that the internet came along, because I really do believe it saved the hobby. But at the same time, I think it's watered down, because there's so many people doing it now. And let's face it, you know, his world and his wife's on YouTube these days. And, you know, flogging kits as professional modelers online. We've already spoken about all things like that before, and all stuff like that. And I think it detracts somewhat from the proper professionals out there. You know, I've got a couple of friends of mine who still full-time commission-only modelers. They do a lot of film work, a lot of prop work as well, and they do normal builds as well. Yet, because of the circles we travel in doing commission work, you don't advertise, because you don't need to, because you've got a list of commissions lasting years. At one point, I had a 6-year waiting list. And it was like, you know, crikey, it's just one of those things. You've just got work always lined up. So you're not advertising, and you haven't got time to be doing social media and stuff because you're working. And I think that's the other side to it. So, you know, it's one of those, you get the real good guys out there, and they sort of, oh, thank you. Sorry, look. Coffee break. Thank you.
Hello, Tam.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, she might. Yeah, it has rained, but not enough. It's all right. The tomatoes need watering. Rock and roll. But yeah, I think it's just, in some ways it's great, because obviously there's more of a community spirit now with the entire hobby. But I think it's pushed some of the more business-like modelers, commission modelers, and that out, if that makes sense. Could have learned a lot from those people, because I got my friend Carl, and he's a fantastic modeler. He's really, really good, but he won't even come on our site because he ain't got time to mess around with it. He does film work as well, and prop work and stuff like that. And as he said, most things he's not allowed to show and talk about anyway, so it'd be pretty boring. So it's just one of those sort of situations you're into with it, NDAs and all that type of stuff as well. It's not conducive to being on sites and talking about it. It's bad enough trying to get stuff out of Airfix.
Well, yeah,
brand it, so.
But I mean, I think as well, with the internet and obviously Facebook and social media, I think there's modelers you'd never know existed, especially from abroad. Like we went to Mosson and we went to Scale Model Challenge of the year and stuff like that. There's obviously modelers there who probably we wouldn't know, because they wouldn't have come to Telford. Because that would have been our show to go to, wouldn't it? Really, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then, if they've only made a special trip over, would be the only way you'd see their work, or if perhaps a magazine would have picked it up, because that was the only way of actually seeing stuff in print, wasn't it? I mean, now obviously it's just easy for somebody just to obviously put the stuff up on the internet, or social media. I still think the cream rises to the top. The good modelers are over the average or mediocre ones, don't you? Do you know what I mean? I do think it shines, if you know what I mean.
Probably go back a bit further than you guys.
I've lost my internet then.
Yeah, you did go a little bit. It's all right.
I was in mid-flow then. Cut off on me. Oh, well.
It wasn't me. I didn't touch anything.
To be honest, I keep getting poor blooming connection fingered up, and I tell you why. Because my sister has given Leslie the Netflix thing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, she's buffering through Netflix.
Oh, but, you're telling me. That'll be it now. Yeah. So, I do apologise if I'm not great tonight.
As for modern ones, if you want to go for modern, I think Plasmo is very, very good. Again, I wish you'd do a full build and not just like a 30-minute type thing. It'd be lovely to see him start to finish do a build, but his work is literally off the chart, and especially when you see his environment he's doing it in, doing it in a box room, small little cutting mat and everything else, he's producing work that is absolutely phenomenal. Spencer Pollard as well, massive fan of his stuff. Again, he tends to tell it how it is. He doesn't pull his punches with his builds, doesn't sugarcoat anything as well, which is odd because, again, he's a magazine editor. So he's managed to bridge that gap and doesn't normally work. I know other people who've been in that situation who made a complete hash of that, trying to do both. But he does it very well. And again, there's loads of other modelers who I really do respect, and I think they're fantastic. There's a few out there I think are complete arses, but that's just opinions.
You've got to have a balance.
Well, you need a balance. You need your yin and your yang, don't you? So
you do. Absolutely.
But that's it. No, it's all very good.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Stephen says, could I ask you to talk about the best way to weather US Navy early jets in the dark blue gloss? I have 4 jets and I would like to mildly weather them. I'm using Model Master paints. Which ones? Is that enamel or acrylic? I would like, I use leveling thinner, so that means it must be the enamels then, I would have thought. The first 50-50 took 9 days to dry. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's enamels for you. I need to sand it back a bit and then sand again. Again, we were saying about this. Honestly, get yourself some rapid thinners and stick it into enamels. And I reckon it'll work really well in them. I have got some. When I come back off holiday, I'm going to give it a whirl, because I've got quite a few of their enamels here, and I'm going to try it with some rapid thinners and just to see what happens there, because that could be like the golden bullet for that stuff, because it does take forever to go off.
And you ought to try it with extra colour.
Yes.
That's the test.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate test of a drying is extra colour in it.
I haven't got any of that though. I've been mine years ago.
That's Nathan. Nathan's got some extra colour. He needs to try it, doesn't he?
Yes. So yeah, you want to give it a whirl. As for doing weathering with it, again, this is one of those areas where it's a difficult colour because it's blue. It's like weathering black. It's very difficult to weather black. What I would do though is very similar to how I literally weather black. So obviously being blue, you can add a little bit of green in there. And just to colour shift it off a little bit, you can add a tiny bit of buff just to sort of lighten the blue off of it as well. You can add a little bit of yellow into it as well. So you're just changing the base colour for doing different panels and stuff like that. So if you ever look at the stuff where I've done black, it's that same thing. So you're just shifting the eye around and making it maneuver around. Washes are always difficult because, again, you either get the people who go light and they go proper, like put a white wash onto it, so it all pings out and looks fantastic, but it's a little bit overdone. But if you're going to do that, you want to make it really salty, as I call it, so you get that sort of bleached look into it. And again, when you're talking mildly weathered, it gets a little bit difficult, because when you're into bleaching and really weathering down, then you're into heavy weathering and doing those types of things. Personally, I would probably go along the lines of, and I've done it both ways, used dark dirt wash or even a brown wash onto it, but literally just slightly fading the centers of the panels just to really change it around and make it look a little bit different. It's a bit like this, because it's grey everywhere, it needed to have post shaded into it, so we just went around with a lightened color. You can see the biggest difference obviously on the front, because that's all this is. Everywhere it's everywhere, but this was masked to give it a hard edge on the top bits, so they, it actually gives it that proper definition of color, but the rest of it is just, blending it around. What do you guys think?
I think with that scheme as well is it's not just like the tonal variation of the colour as it weathers, it's the sheen, isn't it?
Yeah.
They might have come out of the factory a lovely gloss blue colour, but once they've been out on the carriers and what have you,
yeah,
in a bit of rough weather, that sheen disappears, doesn't it? And it's getting that right as well.
Yeah. Again, maybe say flatten down some areas, gloss other areas as well. You do that thing, or just lightly sanding the paintwork as well, which is my usual technique into it, by using the weathering sticks. Because these things won't eat through your paintwork, they'll just literally gently go through. You can actually slightly wear through as well. So if you wanted to cause little bits of wear and tear, if you've got your grey primer underneath and just sanding through, as you're getting close, obviously it will lighten it up because you're getting into that stage of the paint. But again, that's more your heavy weathering type of side of it. Difficult one to do because you don't get chipping on jets like you did on props. They had chunks out of them, and you can do various things to break it up. And you got big oil lines and grease and hydraulic-y things, leaks all over them of the old piston aircraft. But when you're into the jet era, they're a little bit more looked after, especially the early ones. So yeah, personally, I think it's one of those things where just by sanding the entire blue, it will act as like a fine pigment that will go in all your panel lines as well. So that will then set the scene for that as you're going through with it.
What about oils? Would you use oils for a bit of weathering?
Again, I think that's where I would do all the work with it. I probably wouldn't post shade more than just a very light bit, and it'll be very similar to what I do on this one, because obviously we'll weather this thing back and knock it back so it's got that sort of bleached out look. And again, it's just getting in there with oils and just building up your layers, going through, you know, trying them neat, put them on neat, spotting technique, and then blending with them around, and then a little bit of thinners in there just to maneuver it. Like you've seen me on lots of videos where I'll put it on neat onto the model, blend it around, and then you literally put your brush into some thinners, you know, enamel thinners, knock it all off completely, and then just work it, and you can start to push it around and do things with it, which is quite a nice technique, which is, to be honest, what this thing's going to get. So, you know, different colour totally, but the principle is still the same.
I'm going to say, you know what, probably that dark sea blue is probably the hardest colour to paint and weather.
Yeah.
So you think if you're doing black, like you've just said, black's pretty easy. You can put blue in it, you can grey it, you can brown it. You've got different tones of black, but with blue you can't do that because you're going to change the colour. Whatever you put in it, you change the colour because blue is blue, isn't it? You're just going to get different shades of blue. So it is a lot of a really, really hard colour to actually, and especially when it's a dark blue as well, because where do you know you're going to go lighter, aren't you? Which then just completely changes the shade, the colour. So yeah, it's a bit of a technique. Like I say, I think I'll be with you with the oils and stuff, and subtly just, you know, streaking and a bit of panel lightening and just really, really subtly do it, I think.
Yes.
You'll have to do one, Phil. Show us.
Well, luckily I flogged my Corsair, so it's fine. Mind you, I have got, courtesy of one of our members, who I will do it when I come back, did send me a kit, because he got one. And sent me a beautiful tiger cat. So
yeah. I would say that or a panther.
So yes, but I've got a lovely tiger cat there, which is in that colour, which may be seeing light of day in the distant future. Probably not this year, but next year I might actually tackle that. One of these short builds that I do, one of these quick ones, you know.
Yeah, keeping it simple as usual.
Keeping it nice and simple and straightforward. But I must admit, it's winking at me.
Keeping it real.
Right, okay. Phil, can you stop banging your hands and thumping your desk as your speaker? Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Leave him, he's getting all excited. He's nearly on his holidays.
Yeah, that's it. I've only got one more day to go.
That's it.
I'll be back by Wednesday because I'll be bored.
You will, exactly.
I'm on for a rant.
With the PM show, I'll be back on Wednesday because he will be bored.
The PM show will be on Wednesday. I'll do it from Cornwall.
No, it won't. I'll tell you now, it won't be.
That's it. Yeah, I think Tams might kill you. Anyway, Paul says, evening. The more I look at my 132nd Lancaster and Spitfire, the more I dislike the roundels on the wings. Is it roundels or rondels?
I'd say rondels, but I don't.
call them a roundel.
What would you say, John?
Always called them roundels.
Right. Live chat, what do you call it? Is it a rondel or a roundel?
Or tomato or a tomato.
Or is it aluminium or aluminum?
Exactly. It's just pronunciation and accent, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. A circle within a circle within a circle.
Yes, that's it. That's the one. Anyway, he wants to weather them down. Suggest tackling them. They're round. So yes. To be honest, they don't look too bad from here. This is what we're talking about. Let me put it up. There we go. To be honest with you, I always treat my decals, because I put my decals down before I weather, so they just get all the weather in. Depending on the decal manufacturer, sometimes I sand them. You have to be a bit careful, because if you sand them and they're by Tamiya, they're usually white underneath, and you'll just come straight through to white paint. So you have to be a bit careful with that. But some manufacturers, they're blue right the way through, so you can actually sand right into them. So yeah, depending on whose they are, easiest way to check is just before you stick them on, see what colour they are on the bottom. Magic circles, round, rondel, look, they're all in there. Bullseyes, that's what you want to put. So yeah, that's the thing. I just treat mine. So literally, I will lightly sand them. I will post shade them. So if I'm going along doing a bit of post shading, I'll go straight over them. So I just pretend as if they're not there and go right through them. Obviously, with washes and stuff like that, they go straight onto it, and that's part of the reason for putting a flat coat if you're doing heavy weathering with the wash, so it grips to the decal as well as everywhere else. Otherwise, you end up with a clean spot. So that type of thing. And then literally same way if you're using with pigments, if you're using with oils. One of the things you can do post is with oils. Literally use neat oils, put a dab on and brush it around a bit and mottle it in and that type of thing with them.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think it's more noticeable on the Spitfire. It might be just be the angle, but they look proper red, they do. Proper bullseyes.
Yeah, that's it. But I think I'd do the oil route. I think just to shape, like blend them in, bleach them in, whatever. Again, you've got a bit more control, and you can go. Or if you don't like it, you take it back off.
Yeah,
that's the joy of oils.
It is. That's the beauty with oils. If you don't like it, just put a little bit of thinners on a cloth and just wipe it off, and away you go.
And just get rid. So
I'd just like to point out that his cutting in's as good as mine.
Oh right.
If that is better than mine, I hate that job, isn't it? That's got to be the worst job in the world. You know, people often describe about like sanding and filling and stuff on models. Cutting in round coving especially is a nightmare. It's the bit where you have to take your coving down and have new coving put up afterwards just to make it look right. It's bad enough with wallpaper. Anyway, that's coving gate done for the painting and decorators.
COVID,
yeah.
You like doing that job, don't you, John?
What bit of cutting
it's not too bad.
You're a bit of a painter and decorator, aren't you?
Yeah. It's okay, not that difficult.
John was classic because for years I used to go to John's house and everywhere was still in primer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Literally for donkeys. And then he went to sell it and it looked absolutely gorgeous and immaculate. It was so nice they decided to stay.
That's it.
For the minute. She's getting itchy feet again though.
Oh, is she getting itchy feet again now, is it? You need that babbling brook at the bottom of the garden, mate. That's the trouble.
Now I've got my shed, she's getting itchy feet. Great.
Oh my God. Right. Big long question. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Scott says, hi guys. Thanks for all your advice on the AK Extreme Metals Vallejo metal colours on a show a few weeks ago. I've decided to get a couple of bottles each to build a few different things, probably sticking to 1/72 subjects with the Vallejo due to the way it atomizes compared to the AK Extremes, which I'll save for some larger 1/48 scale and 1/32 things. My follow-up question was after rewatching all of your videos on both. Oh my lord, they were a long time ago. And just be safe. Once I've painted the metal colours on the models of whatever I'm using, do I then use a applicable shine enhancer or metal varnish as my clear coat replacement before or after decaling? As I understand, clear is a complete no-go with metallizers as it ruins the metal look. But I am slightly paranoid about decals and washes without the protective coat, as well as the damage in the causing of farm. So, if I follow correctly, it is okay. Paint metallizer for AK and Vallejo. Apply shine enhancer, metal varnish to seal the paint. Apply decals. Apply shine enhancer. Right, okay. Right, slightly getting ahead. If you're going to be using metal finishes, and it goes through the acrylic one as well, or even any type of metallic, normally they are a gloss. Okay, so for that, you probably don't need to put down a shine enhancer, gloss coat or anything before you decal. If your paintwork's a little bit rough, and you're thinking, I don't want to risk it, then yes, by all means, you can put one down. But normally, like, you know, classic is when I did the B17, the B17 hasn't got any clear coats on it whatsoever, and I decaled straight down onto AK Extreme Metals. It's perfect for it, no problem whatsoever. Never had a problem with theirs whatsoever. Sometimes though, I've had it with Alclad especially, you can see the carrier film with it around if you go straight onto the metal finish. So in some ways it's better to put a clear coat because it evens it out and it hides that type of area, but that's just Alclad and why I don't like it. Okay, and going through. So from that point of view is, as for the sealer and what you're doing with it, yes, obviously you get shine enhancers. They all do a version of it. They all do their own ones. Guns do that one, which is called, was it Gauzy?
Gauzy.
So you got Gauzy, which is going yellow, just saying. And you've got, which is Matt's got tons of it at the unit for sale, which I didn't know until I was up there. Whatever I've done with it, which I think I've moved it. Oh no, where have I done with my bottles of it? It seems to have vanished. I'm looking for the square, Mr. Metallizer.
That's the thinner.
Oh, is that thinner, was it? Oh, I thought you actually had the bottles of it. I know what I've done with it.
No, that's the thinner for metallizers, which is
right.
just an enamel product. That's why it's not up on the site, because it's pretty...
Right.
I bought that from nothing to do, because I've got up there one of the metallizers for sealer for metallizers, but I've never used it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Sorry, I put it out on display, which is this stuff. So this is sealer for metallizer by Model Master. Yeah, there you go. Oh. These are the only two. Well, really, this is the only one I trust. This actually does do the job, because what it is literally very, very thin future. But I think this is the trouble. The thicker the medium is, the more you lose that metal luster. So if you use something like, say, Johnson's floor care, because it's quite thick and it's waxy, it just kills the metal. So if you've got a gorgeous metal luster like the B17's got, as soon as you put anything over it, it just goes silver. And it just looks like, you know, X11 or something else like that. It's not very good. Go on, deep whiff.
Do you know what it smells like? Poppers.
Poppers? I was going to say pear drops.
Yeah, smell it. It's...
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go. I'll never get COVID now. Oh, that's quite pokey, actually.
Oh, that stuff.
Jesus.
Pen inks. Oh my God, that's a bit strong.
It is actually.
Oh, jeez. I think I've killed a few brain cells.
It was another 10. But yeah, so that's really nice stuff. But I have to say, I did actually use a little bit of Hitaka lacquers. So I used a bit of this. This stuff is really, really thin. So we often talk about the GX stuff as well, which is really, really nice. This stuff's really thick. Again, you need it to be very, very thin. So this is just ramblings of a madman. I'm really thinking now that if the clear coat is thick, it will kill the metal look. If it's thin, it tends to keep it. It's just getting lost in the whatever it is, what you'd call it, the distance, the thickness.
Yeah, it's a clear coat, isn't it?
Of the clear coat, yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's thin, it's okay. But anyway, I did have a go with some of this with it, and it actually worked quite well on a separate project, just to see. And it actually did do very, very nice. But that's just very thin as well. It's like water, so it goes on, no problem at all.
I'll just show you this.
Go on.
This is the Tester's dual coat lacquer.
Right. Oh, that's proper separated, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's lovely.
That's gloss at the top.
Oh my God, that's so separated. No, it don't even move. Oh, it does a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, look. Ooh.
It's like a lava lamp.
It is, yeah. I wouldn't put a flame near it.
I tell you what, I could have hours of fun with that. Anyway.
Okay, he says he's ordered some of the AK Guzzi Shiner Enhancer that I saw you tested on F104 for the Extreme Metal paints. To be honest, and she is there to this day, she's literally sat in my cabinet there, and it's absolutely fine as well. And that's what I was saying. It's probably the only one I would sort of trust and use with it for an acrylic point of view. I'd say I've really moved away from acrylics on every format, literally from clear coats through to everything. But yeah, it's still there. It still looks fantastic. It did lose a little bit of that luster, I'm not going to lie, but it's still very nice. But it's good because it protects your model and all the rest of it. And as we proved, even with this one, overhandling it, you will wear through it and all the rest of it. So you've got to be a little bit careful with it. And if you're like worried about masking and stuff like that, then put down a clear coat first. But this stuff, I quite like it. It does the job. It's one of those thin coats. Keep it thin. You'll be fine. Look, there's the little ones. That water-based one here, I didn't, you know, as I say, it's difficult. It beads up. It's very difficult to get that to lay down. It's like it needs a flow enhancer into it.
Right. Don't know.
Because I've got that as well. But, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, don't panic,
I thought you
everyone.
said that gauzy stuff peels off.
No, yes, it can do. Again, because it's like a true acrylic, it will lift. If you get hold of it on a corner, you can peel it. The one that this one, wasn't it? That you said peels.
Oh, was that the other ones? Yeah, the two, because that's the one you dip the canopy in, isn't it? And
yeah.
What's that one called?
That's glass coat Guzzi agent.
Right, okay.
So they do two. They do intermediate and glass. The glass one I don't rate at all. I bet this has gone horrible in here. Not too bad. But again, the thing is, these are, the way I look at it is, this one here is just a thicker version of that. That's a thin version. That's a thick version. That's all it is. That's why they call that, like, basically intermediate one, and then they call that one glass coat. It's just that's thicker stuff than that. So,
Right.
So yes. Clear
Do you
coats.
seal yours, John? I can't say I seal my metals. I don't think I do, to be honest.
No, I wouldn't. You do whatever you use. You lose that finish.
It just ends up being silver paint to me.
Yeah.
Look, let me show you up there. I can show you on my cam. She's up here. Look, she looks very nice up there because she looks all metally.
Oh, very nice.
I'll zoom in. Look, you can see how nice and metally she looks up here. See, it still doesn't look perfect up here. In my world, because I'm looking up at it and through your natural eyes, it looks fantastic. But you say, when you try and take a photo of it or anything else like that, it just looks a bit naff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's on Bomber Alley now. Look, all the bombers are there, and the A10's over there now.
Oh, right. Oh, God. You're going to run out of wall space proper.
Well, yeah, that's all right. We'll start going around the house next.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
like that'll happen.
Up the stairs.
Yeah, that'd be great going up the stairs. Yeah, that's it.
Instead of like on Coronation Street, they've got do you remember the ducks?
The ducks, yeah,
Bill
that's it. And
Crofton's house. You'll have the aeroplanes behind you. Oh, God.
Okay, Matt, is it possible to get in Hataka blue singles? Adore the orange line, but want a few for detail painting that's a bit better suited for brush painting. No worries if not. Also, do you know if it's possible to get empty bottles like you can for Vallejo? A few of the singles have split tops.
Well, just sorry, mate. Just go on eBay. You can get dropper bottles. You can get loads of empty bottles. Yeah, just put it in, don't you?
Yeah, just put in dropper bottles.
Just put dropper bottles in on eBay or Amazon or wherever, and you can get empties by the bucket load. As for the blue line singles, not really. No, I've got to say I haven't really put an attacker order in for ages at the minute, so we're a bit low. Because to be honest, we're still a bit undecided on what we're doing yet.
True.
So we'll discuss this at some point in the future, but yeah. So, yeah. Right. So I'll say no for now.
Right, it looks like we've got okay. Yeah, it's all right. We've just got questions in every orifice at the moment. And it looks like most of them are duplicates from the other, is it? I don't know. I can't see what people are.
So new systems working flawlessly then, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. No problem. I have to disagree with you about your film Midway. I'm a pilot, so I understand what they're trying to say. What? So, Bruce, let's get it straight. You do dive bombing. I didn't realise that was still a thing. I thought they do toss bombing now. Isn't that the latest thing? Anyway, that's probably for a different follow-up one, so that's all right. We'll do those ones as follow-up. We'll keep to the main chat area because I think there's posts all over the place at the moment, but we're roughly there. Right. Any more questions, anyone? Post them over into the question area.
Yeah, you got 7 minutes.
Because you've got 7 minutes.
And that's it, we're done.
Yes. Because say there's questions that obviously been brought over to the other one from here and all the rest of it. So yes, it's all a little bit weird on this one. Right, this is that tape thing the guys were talking about. It's that one, liquid tape.
Liquid tape? No, looks like the same as blooming crystal clear, doesn't it?
Hmm. Yeah.
I'll have a look into that because that might be a useful thing to have.
Hmm.
Or to stock. So yeah, I'll have a look into that. I don't know if we can get it, but you know.
Yes.
What's happened to that?
So, this is that AMP B2. Remember we were saying about that?
Oh, the one. Oh yeah.
On the edges appears to have a clip on it, a little tiny bit there. How would you go about fixing this? I would literally put the wing arms together and all the rest of it and do a filler job once it's all together.
Yeah.
Because otherwise what can happen is you end up with too much a lump there and then you're going to end up with a terrible join. So don't worry about get a little bite in it at the moment. Just get the wing arms together and all the rest of it. Then afterwards come in and take a a little bit of filler into that. You could even use a little bit of super glue, just a drop of super glue, like a ball of it, and then sand and blend it in once it's in there, because obviously normal filler might be a little bit too thin, and it might just literally fall out because it's a tiny little chip out of it. Failing that, just slightly take it back, just to sand the entire thing, that 1/4 mil out, so no one will notice, because honestly, it's only us you've told, that's fine.
Little bob of sprue glue or
just something in there. Yeah. Thing is, because it looks very, very thin, that you don't want to go in there with too much sort of glues and things either, because otherwise it's going to melt.
Would you quickly, whoever's just put that up, just give a quick review of it and say, is it nice, is it a bit, because we were actually looking at stocking these, weren't we? Because there's a few different 1144 bombers and stuff. I think there's some Victors, and I can't remember what they do, but they all look a bit interesting anyway, so nice to know what it's like. And
it looks like it's all nicely recessed details. It looks quite nice, though.
It don't look too shoddy, does it, on that?
No.
Might be something worth looking into if we've got any interest in that scale. Yeah. Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. Say it'd be a manageable scale as well, wouldn't it, rather than the 72nd one in 1144?
Yeah.
So, it's more suitable, isn't it? More suitable scale for bigger stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, well, all good stuff. Look, no more questions. That's it.
All right. Early finish then, early bath tonight.
That's it. Yeah. Yes.
Are we all good?
Yeah, we're all good. That's all fine. Right. Okay. Last day for me tomorrow. Yay.
That's it.
That's it. Holly Bob's time. Anyway, the next part will be up of this. So we say with the VC10, it's going to be part 8, I think it is next, with that one. And obviously it covers all the painting work. So literally going through the 2 colours of paints, we do the pre-shading with it. So it's where we left off last time. We've done the primer. This time we go in, and this time you get a very nice different camera angle. You get a camera that's actually here looking in there. So you get me in a mask and a respirator. You can see me spraying it all and all the rest of it. So that's in there. Anyway, it talks about obviously doing the pre-shading. We talk about that and the fors and against, putting down the main colour, and then doing obviously the bleaching effect right the way over it and stuff like that. And then, as I say, next week on Monday, even though I'm not here, on Monday I will put up the next part, because that will be ready by then as well, which talks about doing this coach lining and then the decal in and bits on like that as well. So that'll be up, because there's enough footage for that, and I'll get that done over the weekend, so it's in time for there.
Can I just put in and just get told about your new computer?
Yes, new computer is here. To be honest, it's upstairs at the moment being updated, because obviously, even though the computers are linked, they back each other up. So I had to do a backup from one of the hard drives here, which has got all the critical stuff, has gone up to the other one, so it's upstairs. But it is here now, and it's so far, it's all right. Bearing in mind, I've only plugged it in and done an update, but it's got a very nice 1970s disco going off inside it, where the memory does all different colours and everything, which is great, I suppose, for a 14-year-old gamer, but it's a bit distracting when you're trying to edit. So I'll be going in there turning that lot off. So, but yes, so the new computer is in here and everything. So it's great. It just needs to all to be updated, sorted out. As I say, it's got new hard drives in it as well. It's got 2 1 terabyte solid state hard drives in it now, because it used to have 512s in it before. So they got cloned and moved over. But obviously it needs to have the update from this one onto that one, and vice versa, because they back both each other up. And then there's a separate hard drive, which then goes to there as well. So everything's in triplicate. So by the time we come back next week, we should be all firing on 10 cylinders and doing it again. So we will all be good.
Cool.
So yes, all good job. So anyway, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Holiday plans. Yes, I'm off to Cornwall. Yay.
Yeah, he's off. How long? 40 minutes down the road?
Yeah, 45 if it's good traffic.
Right.
So yes, we're off. So take the dogs and all the rest of it. So that'll be all right. Got my mother house sitting. She can do me plants.
Oh, right. Okay. And the ironing.
And the ironing. I'll leave her all my jobs, so it'll be fine. We'll be good with that one. But anyway, I'll be back up with you tomorrow, and obviously we'll talk about what we've done this week, a bit of a catch up, have a look around everything. Say next part of that will be up there. I've got a couple of reviews for you that will be coming up, one tomorrow, and then obviously all next week as well. Even though I'm not here, I'm going to set them up as well, so they will appear for you throughout. So we've got all the reviews coming along as well. The guys will be in the forum looking after you. allegedly. So
absolutely.
Yes. So I know they're hiding in chat as well. Look, because I can see them in there as well. So so if you got anything, ask them because I'm not answering the phone. That's it.
No, I don't blame you.
I'm out of CB range. So anyway, that is it from us. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, guys. Pleasure as always. Happy modelling. Stay safe. I will see you obviously tomorrow, or if not, obviously I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll be back on the Tuesday afterwards as we make our way through. So till later, everybody. Say goodnight, boys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.